Chairman Lopeman has been very much grounded by his beliefs and the tribe's beliefs.
The most important thing to Dave was community, family, the tribe. That never altered, no matter what he did. He has been involved and has been basically one of our pillars, our rocks, since as long as I can remember.
When I think of Dave Lopeman, I think about the restoration of our people. He has been one that's concerned about the ways of our people being salmon people. During the salmon fishery, it was tough. There was a lot of conflict, so much conflict that we had to have federal negotiators come in to talk with us because it boiled down to that there was guns, there was people holding guns on our tribal people, and it was a very terrible time in the 1970s. And Dave was always there trying to help us to resolve these conflicts.
That spirit or that fearlessness, that willingness to do what it needed to be done in belief in what we had a right to do was one of Dave's biggest contributions. I mean, he had to deal with being stopped by the state and other processes that we went through during that time until we basically had settlements and now have agreements with the state. But it was kind of a little bit the Wild West back then. We all played our part, but he was the primary person, I guess you would say. Whether he was on the council or not, he was somebody who really believed in that we had a right to make money for our tribes, to take care of ourselves, to start a business as a tribe.
The one thing I would say is that Dave understood when it comes to sovereignty and taking care of the people was he didn't care what the state of Washington thought or the federal government thought. What Dave knew was we had a community here, and like all communities and governments, we have to take care of our people. And so he did whatever it took. And just because someone said there's a law or there's this or the state says or the federal government says, that was never good enough for Dave. He was always willing to be assertive and take that risk to do what he needed.
The other thing that was critical to Dave and to a lot of us is the issues of taxation, cigarettes, fuel. Dave walked the talk. I go all around the country working on taxation issues in other states, and people say, well, how did you get involved in this? And I always start off with, well, they threw my chairman into jail, and they took him out with machine guns, and we had to get his truck back. And it's a very personal story about Squaxin and taxation, and we are really respected across this whole country. But really, it was because of Dave and his belief that the tribes have the right, and he was willing to fight for it, at his own peril.
Understanding some of the poor anti-Indian legislation that was created through time, he understood the importance of developing relationships in a time where we didn't have a positive relationship with the counties, the state, and sometimes even with the neighboring cities. David really had the vision and the wisdom to understand the importance of educating people, and we were able to do that through government to government. I really appreciate his persistence over the years of his leadership to not only have that belief, but convey that to the rest of his tribal council members as well as the tribal people. And that has been really the foundation in which we've been able to advance many of the tribal initiatives is through interlocal agreements. But what I appreciate most about Chairman Lopeman is that he always did that on the tribe's terms.
Chairman Lopeman is all about natural resources. He's been a commercial fisherman as long as I can remember. He commercially harvested clams. The one thing I will say honorably about Dave is once he became a leader, a respected leader and an elected leader, he also made it very clear to the community, now that I have this job, now that I'm working for you people with this capacity, I really am going to retire my clam digging and retire my fishing. And he did. He actually, when he said that, he meant it. His position to me was always, you know, Dave, it's about the people. The reason I'm not harvesting clams and fish is it leaves more for others. And he lived by that.
Government-to-government relationships has been really a strong point in David's tenure here. And because of his leadership, we've really mended a lot of fences in law enforcement. He's always asked us to do our job to the fullest. He's always held his own family, himself, tribal council, his tribe accountable. One thing he's always demanded and has always talked to me is that our officers use good discretion, and that we are compassionate, and that we are respectful, and that we continue to respect the culture and the ways of Squaxin people. Do our jobs, but don't forget that, ever. And that's always stayed with me in my career, even into my new arena. I still to this day remember those words and try to live by that every day.
Beyond everything else that Dave's done, still, like a lot of us, our core values really are around the fish, the island, and treaty fishing rights. And David's life was, dedicated to that. He had other priorities, and he had opinions, about a lot of things. Buying land was extremely critical to Dave, and he knew that if we didn't have land, we wouldn't have this.
He was a huge part in creating revenues within our revenue allocation plan, that a certain percentage every year would be budgeted for the acquisition of land on the island as well as in our homelands. And so prior to 1980, our reservation, our lands consisted of just over 1,000 acres of land. And under Chairman's leadership, in that persistence of being able to continue to champion the acquiring land back, we've realized now over 2,700 acres. In the vision that the chairman had to understand that while he believed strongly in our sovereignty, that we had the right to do all this, he also understood the benefits of being able to create relationship with the state. And by doing that, in getting the cigarette compact in place, it really allowed us to solidify those revenues for years and generations to come. Chairman Lopeman not only was the champion of building the factory, but saw the value of tribal employment in skilled labor.
In the early 1990s, I remember Dave talking to our tribal members about the importance of diversifying. And we had to diversify our economies because our salmon fishing was not the greatest. We were always struggling. And he looked at the opportunity for us to get into the gaming business. And when that door opened, I think he was the first one to jump through. And of course, our tribe, we also became part of the gaming industry.
At the time we started the Little Creek Casino project, I was the enterprise manager. So Dave's role, he was chair at the time. There was a lot of things that went into it that Dave, and the council had to decide on when they approved it. It's become more than I actually imagined by quite a bit. At the time, we were thinking it was just going to be like table games, and it was just going to be something where we could have some jobs. And now it's become this multi-million-dollar business, and it's a destination, and it's actually a beautiful facility, and it is a lot more than than I imagined when we first started this. The economic impact is that we have become, if you split the tribe between the government and the casino, we're the first and third largest employers in Mason County. So we have become not only a big impact for the tribe, but actually for our whole surrounding communities.
The leadership of Dave Lopeman has been incredible, and he truly believes in family and the growth of the tribe, of our people, and the foundation, how enrollment is the foundation of the tribe. Enrollment in the 80s, we had about 300 members in the tribe. And historically, the tribe has grown at a rate about 2% every year. And now we have about 1,000 strong members.
Since Dave started on Tribal Council back in 1980, we've really increased in our number of employees. In 1980, we had about 35 or 40. Now we have over 1,200 employees.
I've always wanted to be my grandpa. I remember being a little kid and doing the, your dream job in elementary school, and my dream job was to, have my grandfather's job. I wanted to be there for the people. I wanted to have that sense of connection with everyone, and to have the ability to be the voice of the people, and seeing him do it with such ease. It came as natural as breathing air. And as I'm sitting here today and learning my new role within the tribal government, I don't know how he did it. He is such a great man, and he is so humble about the things that he has done with the people, and how he has really sacrificed in a lot more ways than most people would never know. And my hands just go up to him. He's such an awesome man.
Dave, I appreciate your leadership to us as a tribe. And I appreciate that when I came to talk to you, talk to me as a friend and not necessarily as a council member. I always felt like I could just chat with you. Thank you.
Thank you for all the support you gave the artists and the canoe journey.
Chairman Lopeman, thank you for all the contributions and lasting contributions that you made for our tribe, the Squaxin Island tribe. The patience that you've shown in tough times of negotiation, in dealing with tough tribal issues, and allowing yourself to be patient to make sure all tribal members had the opportunity to say what they need to say, so you could take that in and try to help our people. Thank you very much, David Lopeman.
Dave, as your younger cousin, I want to say thank you. Thank you with my whole heart, my spirit, my mind, for all the teachings that you have given me, for all of the good examples that you have shown me, and the strength that you have shown throughout all the years when I've sat on tribal council with you, when I've been there, and when we've had to go through some rough storms. You as a leader, you've always been strong, calm, and I've always trusted that you've been fair and honest with everyone. And I want to say thank you, because you have been an amazing teacher, an amazing leader, and you're a great cousin too. I love you.
I just wanted to thank David for his impact on my life. We first really met when I was 21 years old, and the lasting impression is his value on culture and family, and that constant reminder of that in everything we do, that culture and family comes first. We do our jobs, but who we are as a people is the most important thing, and I want to thank him for setting that tone from early on, And like I said, it's something that I carry with me till today.
Dave, you know I've always thought you were my chair, and it'll be hard not to have you there.
Although Chairman Cooper is currently in the position, you will always be my chairman. I am very proud of you. You've been a great mentor, a great leader, a great friend. So proud you let us, you're sharing your grandson with us, Stephen Dorland, who's currently on tribal council, and I have faith and hope that your lifeblood will continue and continue to help direct and oversee this tribe and the community and benefit and grow and be positive and learn from each other. And I really thank you personally for that, and you will be missed.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I could never thank you enough, Grandpa. You were always there for me. You always helped me strive to be better, to do better, to wear my heart on my sleeve but never let it affect my day-to-day life, and know that I'm gonna have people tell me that, you know, I'm doing this or that wrong, or I could have done this or that better, but make the decisions with knowing and doing it in the right way with a good heart. You've just been a huge inspiration to me, and I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for you. So I love you.